Yes, we are coming to you live from Kabale, or what people call Kabalega International Airport. The fleet you are seeing there is a delegation from Bank of Uganda, led by the Deputy Governor, Professor Augustus Niwagaba. They visited different sites. One of those was Pump Station 1, whose progress is actually on point because the entire eco project stands at 70%. That we did confirm from the lead engineer, Hadi Watifa, because that's where they first visited. And Pump Station 1 stands at 82%, and that's good progress. I call it the system, a dictator system needed to ensure that everything moves well is already assembled, and they're just waiting installation. That is likely going to be done before 2 months. They confirm by June or July 2026. Certainly they'll be done, and Uganda will be able to have its passport. Remember, they anticipated it to be in 2025. Unfortunately, due to a number of challenges, that has not been possible. But of course, work is progressing well. And from there, they went to Kingfisher. Kingfisher is an oil field managed by Sinok. And in there, still work is progressing well. And they're close to about 98%. Because feeder line from Kingfisher in Chikova is actually complete, and work is moving well. They are just waiting for Pump Station 1 and refinery also to be done. And later on, we actually came here at Kabalega International Airport, but also remember that's where Kabalega Refinery is going to be happening, including Kabalega Industrial Park. For the airport, it was supposed to be complete by 2023, but you all remember we had issues of COVID-19, and besides that, also prices of raw materials did go high, and of course that did affect the contractor, but also government, and also government had some issues to do with finances. But of course, nevertheless, government did the best to ensure that the project moves steadily. I remember still there are some changes. At first, they knew the airport would have a moving tower, but later they actually settled for a stable or permanent tower that will be controlling the planes landing in here and also going away. Remember, the planes that will be coming here will be delivering cargo, but also especially those machines that will be used at the construction of a refinery. Our government actually realized it was very important not to have cargo delivered at Entebbe Airport, then come by road. Remember, some are expensive but also delicate, and you do not want to have them being driven from Entebbe Airport to Kabale or Kabalega Industrial Park and airport or industrial park for that matter. But also some planes cannot land at Entebbe given their strength, but then this airport, Kabalega, it can actually accommodate 4 heavy plane cargos at the same time. Isn't that good news? It means good news for a country like Uganda, because we know for a fact, besides this cargo, I know that there's going to be possibilities of passenger planes also using the airport, but also you have people doing agriculture, and they can actually have their goods taken outside, because if you have an industrial park happening here, then you expect food to be processed and added value onto, and then they can be flied outside the country, but also in Kampala, so that people can be able to trip big from the street. Remember, Uganda, but also the Bunyoro sub-region is known to be an agricultural area. So then, and people are complaining about how they're being treated when they go to the market, because if you're selling raw materials, you are not going to reap big as someone selling processed or high valued products. It's a fleet that is actually getting into in here, and that's the airport for you. Like I did tell you from the start, that's a fleet of a delegation from Bank of Uganda led by Deputy Governor Professor Augustus Nwagaba. With them, there's a delegation of UNOC. It is a commercial entity of government, but also you have PAO, a regulator in there to ensure that Sinok and Total, who are undertaking Tilenga project in Bulisa, actually do an amazing job. For now, we actually can confirm it's an amazing job being done by the two companies, Total Energies E&P in Tilenga Bulisa, but also Sinok, and that is happening in Kingfisher, Chikove district. And I did have an interview with him, Professor Augustus Nwagaba. He does confirm that if this is done so well, it has capacity to deliver Uganda to a middle income status. Remember, the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has been intentional, saying, you know what, we need to get Uganda to the middle income status, and he's been also intentional having different projects being initiated, some through his office, some through different departments, some through government departments and ministries to ensure that people get out of poverty. One of those is Parish Development Model, PDM. You had the Myoga, you had the Ntandikwa, Operation Wealth Creation, led by General Salim Saleh, and many others. So that is how intentional President Yoweri Museveni has been, and the government of NRM, especially to ensure that Uganda gets high, but also the economy grows. It's a fleet, an interesting fleet in there, but of course my driver is a little speedy, but nevertheless we'll be able to give you these updates and as they happen in here. If I can give you the front view as we get to the airport, that's where we are going. Runway is complete, control tower is almost complete, and of course, SBC, the company that has contracted to ensure that everything moves as planned for the airport, are saying no, before the end of this year, everything will be fully done, and they've got assurance from the Ministry of Works, who are their supervisors. It's good work that I can confirm, because looking at how bushy this place was and how developmental Kabalega has become. Kabalega is a sub-county in Hoima district. How development it is come. You certainly see that there is green light ahead at the end of the tunnel, like some people normally say. We all need to be intentional, especially in regards to safeguarding oil and gas sector, because it faced a lot of backlash, some from the Western countries, some from local activists, especially with matters to do environment, and some people are talking about pollution. But then government did come in clearly said, you know what, this sector has to go on and has to go on, but also following the international standards. That's why you have a regulator in there, that's PAO for you, and then you have UNOC, a commercial entity of government, and but also as all that is happening in the team, you have a safety person in the team, because at least everywhere we actually go, even if you are here yesterday, someone will tell you before you do anything, we need to ensure that we induct you about safety moments. That's how serious it is, but also precautions about environment and why they are so intentional to ensure that the projects move as planned. That's Amos. He's a public relations officer for SBC company, the company that was contracted to work on Kabalega International Airport. That's a fleet in there, and they get into in here. I'm waiting for the deputy governor's vehicle. I'm waiting for the deputy governor's vehicle. Team from PAO, regulator, team from Bank of Uganda, team from UNOC. They are all here to actually see and observe how the airport is moving. But of course, the assurance is before the end of this year, 2025, the airport will be fully functional, and that's what you're seeing in there. It is an international airport, second to Entebbe. Remember, Uganda has always had one airport, that has always been Entebbe, but many thanks to oil and gas. Who knew that Bunyoro sub-region would actually get an airport of this nature? Maybe that could have been long overdue, but nevertheless, now that because of oil and gas, it was necessity to have an airport so that heavy cargo equipment can be flight in here to first a delegation of Bank of Uganda. I see PAO team trying to inform the delegation from Bank of Uganda led by Deputy Governor Professor Augustus Nwagaba. He is a very good economist. For people that knew him before he became a deputy governor, he's someone who was actually popular on television interviews, but also keynote addresses on economic matters. Nevertheless, the president did cite him out and appointed him as a deputy governor because of his economical background, but also his experience on matters of international financial policy. He works in there with a team of PAO, also UNOC, and of course they are getting acquainted with the Kabalega International Airport progress. It's only that it is still daytime, but for people that have come here tonight, you've seen how beautiful it is. You see those lights in there. They look extremely amazing. But of course, it's still a little early and you cannot see some of those lights. But for people that have come here, because I meant to understand, testing of cargo of some planes happens in here. There are some planes that will come and land here to ascertain, to confirm that indeed everything is moving as planned. That's in there, and yeah, amazing. I was in there trying to explain to the team.
But when we drop down the escarpment, that's when it becomes 17 kilometers.
Also, that's why we need.
So how many kilometers you can get from there? Yeah, right from there where we turned from, that we call that the taking off area, and then the approach is this side. The whole stretch is 5 kilometers, but the actual runway with this material, the asphalt, is 3.5 kilometers. That is the actual runway. But beyond the runway, there is a turn pad this side and a turn pad the other side. There is a runway end safety area this side and another one this side. Then the approach and the taking off. 5 kilometers. Then for the width, the part of asphalt is 45 meters. The width is 45 meters. Then with that green area and this side is 15 meters, it makes it 75. 30 plus 45. The width is 75, whereas this one is 3.5. Now, whole orientation is like this. The aircraft touches the ground at the beginning at kilometer 1. It comes like this as it slows down.
Up to,
Yeah, it taxes following this yellow line. It goes to the apron, the parking area. Off-road is passengers and cargo, and when it is going back, it again follows the same direction. It goes to the turn pad. There's a spacious area there at the beginning. It turns from there, then it faces this direction, and it comes now gaining momentum and takes off this direction.
So you can only land from that direction. You can't land from this direction.
You can, but now for this specific airport, the fact that we are just very near Lake Albert and DRC, it is affecting the orientation of the airport. Now for like a big cargo plane, when it is taking off, it must use this direction. Because like an Antonov, when it takes off, it will need like 40 to 50 kilometers in the air to stabilize and start following the coordinates. Now, when you allow it to take off towards this direction, by the time it gets the 40 kilometers, it is already in the airspace of another country. And that means something else. So, all the big cargo planes will be using this direction where we have Bugoma Forest, Kagadi, Chenjojo, that is Uganda. But for a small aircraft, it can take off this direction in 10 kilometers, it will turn and go elsewhere.
Why only one run?
But it's enough for our traffic for sure.
But you're not looking at future growth.
Yes, even if. But there is that air traffic controller who will always be guiding, even if they are landing for 5 minutes after another one. The traffic controller will be saying, wait 5 minutes, another aircraft is taking off. Now you can land as he controls them. So the traffic
We are not ambitious for sure.
And besides, the space is still there. They can as well develop another emergency runway, as I had told you. So the access for specifically the airport is going to come from this direction. You can see where the eucalyptus is not equal. There is a cut there. There is a road being constructed to access the airport. Now,
there was some settlement up there. What is that?
No, that one is like timber houses. The owner of that hill, I think, had constructed those as timber houses. Yes. And that's where the road passes almost entering the airport. So there is one road that is almost at the completion level, which is joining the Hoima Kaisotonya Road and Hoima Footphoto Road from a center called Kabale, which is Ramfumbi. Now from that road, that's where they are carving the airport access road, 4 kilometers to come and enter the airport. So all these roads we have used are just temporary roads for the construction purposes. And besides, when an airport is operational, you cannot access it from this side. It must be the other side. So the passengers, of course, will come. There is a public parking that side. That structure there is the terminal building. This side will handle passengers, and this side will handle cargo. As I had told you, it looks small, yes, but it is going to serve the purpose until the expansion of the airport. As I told you, the airport was given 5.1 square kilometers. It has only used 3. So the 2 are there for the expansion of the terminal building. Actually, from here up to the forest, that space is for the expansion of the airport. Yes.
But so, for AFCON, we are going to use it.
Yeah.
The footballers will land here.
True, they will land here. They will land here and use that passenger terminal, which has the capacity to handle at least 50 passengers at the peak hour. 50. 50 at the peak hour. At the peak hour, meaning it can handle more than 1,000 passengers in a day.
But it's not a passenger.
Yeah, sure. There's going to be an expansion of the passenger terminal. That there will of course be an.
So when an S3H comes, what are you going? But it's not S3H. S3H can do anything.
You see,
we are going to have very many teams.
You can't land here, but
sure, sure. But you know, AFCON came in as something else. But the initial plan of the airport was cargo, and for the 3 to 4 years, the attention will be on cargo. Then they are thinking of the second phase of the development of the passengers. So maybe by that time it will also have started.
This is now cargo
for the construction of the refinery. Those heavy equipment that will be. Yeah.
Tell me, where do you say the cargo terminal? What is the cargo terminal?
That building now we can call it a terminal building. The cargo is going to be here, and the terminal is going, and the passengers this side.
Compared to Entebbe cargo, the new Entebbe cargo is huge.
No. This infrastructure here is still humble.
Yeah.
We can say, but you know also it's not in the planning for this airport, because I mean a lot of the heavy cargo come by sea and road, like we have seen for the CPFs. So it's the sensitive cargo, and which is a little bit later come by aircraft. So this airport also needs planning and making a sort of a case for it. Tourism was a big part of it. But like he's saying, this is the initial infrastructure.
Yeah, phase 1.
for expansion of terminal buildings and things.
So
like that.
when you start talking about agriculture, food and so on, you need for now.
No, but even just our tourism in the tenfold growth next 15 years.
Yeah. You can see the aircraft landing, for example, at Kilimanjaro, all the way from Europe directly.
Direct.
Yeah.
So.
But let me see.
No, we have them landing in Kanungi.
If I'm the tourist,
Otherwise, this airport will reach the runway and every other infrastructure is ready.
just try to think. If I'm a tourist, why? So if I land here, which is the easier place?
Markshan Falls is less than 100 kilometers from here. Even the Queen Elizabeth is less than 200 kilometers from here.
Kabalega also, you know, this road you can just connect to
Fort Portal. Yes.
It's shorter from here to Fort Portal than
You
from
can go
Kampala.
through those humps.
Maybe what I should not forget to tell you, this area had valleys. From there, this was a valley, there was another valley there,
It's a long time.
and another valley there. So it took us like, the biggest part of it was the cut and fill. Yeah, 7 million cubic volume of earthworks. We had to cut and fill, like in the center here, we must have come from like 27 meters deep to get this level. The advantage we had is that what we did cut was good enough to be used to fill. So we did not import any material, and neither did we spoil any material. What was cut was good enough to use to fill. Yes.
Fit. Needs a lot of high level fit infrastructure.
In the grand scheme of things and the grand planning, there is a plan for what is called a utility corridor between Kampala and Hoima, which is going. Felix from earlier talked about the product pipeline from the refinery and things like that, and then sort of a super highway in that utility corridor, so that you connect this place to Kampala seamlessly.
At the moment,
Because you can see when we were coming, there was bend. So you need to connect this place.
And even the Hoima Kampala road. And actually, will meet those lorries.
Its current state. Thank you, Mr. Melissa. Engineer Melissa, are we going to the terminal building or we are done?
No. We are done.
We are done.
We are done.
Okay.
You can have the photos.
Yes, so you get to understand some of those comments coming through from a delegation from Bank of Uganda. Most of them are very pertinent. For instance, if they raise issue of the airport being small, but anyway, it was for cargo. That has come out clear from Melissa, who is a spokesperson for the project. But also issues to do with, remember, Uganda will be hosting AFCON 2027, and we expect different countries coming through to the country. So the deputy governor did raise concern that is indeed so small to host different teams, because we're going to have a lot of teams coming through for the AFCON or Africa Cup of Nations. But of course, that has also been answered that while the project was starting, they did not expect to have AFCON. So that came midway, and there is going to be a second phase. Remember, they have also talked about 5.1 square kilometers for the airport, and also only about 3.1 has only been used, so meaning that you still have 2 square kilometers still present, and that's enough maybe for expansion of the airport. But still, there is still land around here which can be procured by government, but also you still have some land which is actually government land, and that's going to be for the Kabalega Industrial Park. Maybe for future plans in anticipation for growth, they can think about expansion and then make the airport maybe have some more terminals, because they're complaining about the terminal that is small, because they're talking about the left side, right side is a cargo terminal, and then right side is a passenger terminal. But of course, the delegation raises concerns here. They're like, it's small. It's small. It could be small, but can it serve the purpose? I believe yes, because the plan to be able to fly in equipment, especially those that are extremely delicate, because most equipment that actually work in refinery come by water or by road, and we've seen that happen, especially for most equipments, including very heavy, expensive rigs that are being used at Lenga oil project in Ulisa, but also oil rigs happening at Sinoko in Kingfisher. They all came by road, and work is progressing well. If Sinoko are telling you that they are at 98% or about, and then Total like we're telling you that no, you know what, almost we're also close to about 80 or 85%, and most of these equipments did come here by road and some by water, meaning that nevertheless the airport will be able to serve the purpose of what was planned for by the government, but also I believe they got experts in there to be able to guide what kind of airport that was needed for the country that is actually growing or getting its first oils. It's good news that I can actually say that when you're standing here, you see sunset there. It's good news. It's good news for the country, I suppose, and guess so. So we wait for, I believe, I'll be the first grateful person. I'll be grateful to be that first person when they actually say that, you know what, we breaking news. The airport is being commissioned, is being launched by the Ministry of Works, probably maybe to be the president coming through. I know it is a mega project, and I believe the president will be coming through to launch this airport. So I can see the villagers here trying to get some pictures. So you get to understand where people come from, because if you are taking pictures at your age, you get to understand people have come a long way. So he needs a picture maybe that will be put on his coffin when he dies. So just make it real. Just make it real, so that maybe it can be used as when he dies. We may need a picture for his coffin. So you see how he poses? He poses like a villager. So those are moments when you get to an airport and you've not been there before. So you get to understand people are taking pictures, they're taking selfies. It's in anticipation. They're like, you know what? I need to have history of what happened. So not like us who have been in these things and they're like, no, it's normal things. So someone is taking pictures. I'll tell my boyfriend. I'll tell my boyfriend. No, I'll tell
my boyfriend. I'll tell my husband.
But I was there. How are you doing?
Guys. Hello, I'm fine. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
What comes into your mind when you see such a mega project for the country?
When I see such a mega project for the country, I get to have a feel that really our country is going somewhere in terms of development. And when this starts functioning, wow, we are hoping for more businesses, more income generation, and above all, job opportunities for the young generation.
I get. When we tell people that Uganda is growing, especially having such an airport, people are like, maybe it is like a mini airport. Give us the experience of walking in here. Just a drive, the corners. That experience.
Wow. I've really had a great experience, because when you reach to this place, it's another world in Uganda. Actually, it's another Uganda in Uganda. It's very huge. I believe, like what they've been telling us, it's true. I believe it's bigger than Entebbe Airport, actually. So I also have that feel that one day, one time, at least, we will fly from here and Entebbe will be history.
Oh, you get. That's good news for Bunyoro.
And actually,
good news for Bunyoro, yeah?
It's really good for the Bunyoro people. It's really good for the Albertine region and the people and Uganda at large, because having such a mega project here, wow, kudos.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. Just look at us, mate. Never none. Okay. Let's speak to Wakalo Chanchila Miziki. He heads a republic in Buhirigi. He's a president, he's a minister, he's a member of parliament. He cares less about what people say. He cares. Let's speak to. He's a journalist. He's been here. He's seen most of the things happening. Let's make sense of an international airport. What does it mean? What does it feel when you're getting here? Sharp corners, driving at a very fast speed. Those moments.
I think, first of all, this is a great moment for the people of Hoima, Bunyoro, and Uganda. You know, it's going to be a very, 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 very unique airport to the people of Bunyoro and Uganda at large, especially at this time that we are expecting the first oil to come out. You know, this is very crucial. The airport will be very crucial in the transportation of heavy machines that will be used for the refinery. Actually, it is for the people in this region, because most of the people have never seen an aircraft landing. I think it will be one of the greatest opportunities for them.
I hope you're not one of them.
I'm not, I've ever boarded. So this is not my first time to be at an airport. I've ever been at Entebbe, Kigali, you know, all those. I've traveled. I'm not this local people.
I am surprised that when you got here, you're one person who was so quick to say, Bankube Serefi.
Yeah.
Is it village or what?
Not village, not village, not village. No. Can you retract that statement? It's not. No.
Bitter.
Not village. You know, I don't even come from a village. Yeah.
Burig.
I come from, actually, Burig is a municipality. So it's not a village.
Okay.
Yes, it is not a village. But I think, no, the villages are surrounding this area. Those in Chaparoni, those in Kabale, those in Nyamasoga. Of course, they will be very, very, very happy. Because every day they will be seeing airplanes, landing here, time and again, you know. So they will be excited.
My issue is about you taking selfies. Why? You
at the airport? Yes. At the airport.
You want those moments that you know us here.
No, you know, some of these photos will be used in future.
When you die?
No, not when I die. Because at times people will not be allowed to access this facility.
Sure.
So when you get such opportunity, take as many photos as you can, as you've been taking.
Who?
You.
Many thanks for speaking to us. Kabalega, he reports for Uganda Radio Network. He's a senior journalist in the Bunyoro sub-region, and he understands what he does because his own journalists have seen and who has fairness, especially for the country, Uganda. So those are good moments anyway. Those are good moments. And when you get to see how happy people are having an airport and how it is growing. I speak to Saif. He's my good friend. He works for Power. Just experience of an airport. Just. What does it make?
I cannot speak for airport.
No, just the experience. It is for social media.
No, I don't speak for airport. See,
the experience. In here, what it means.
Okay, can you get it? Okay, this is one of the critical infrastructures for oil and gas. Actually, it is the major infrastructure that opened up the Albertine Graben for oil and gas. This airport is the major target for refinery development and other infrastructures. It is almost complete. We are very excited. We hope when refinery starts, even major of the machineries for refinery will be used, will pass through this airport. Yeah, it is in center of Kabalega Industrial Park, which is a 29.57 square kilometers land that is meant to support oil and gas infrastructures. Mention the refinery, pump station 1, which is almost 60% complete. Then we have other light, heavy and medium industries through byproducts of oil and gas. Thank you.
Thank you for speaking to us. So let's catch up with the Deputy Governor, Professor Augustus Nuoga, speaking to the media.
Which is the revenues that are going to be coming from oil, but for specific amounts, then you have to contact the Ministry of Energy and also
Maybe as Bank of Uganda, are you impressed by the ongoing work at the airport?
We are extremely impressed by the work that is going on at the airport. This airport is essentially constructed for cargo, but of course, as time goes on, the airport has over 5 miles of land. They have already used only about 3.5. So there's still 1.5 square miles are going to be used for expansion. And at the helm of the airport, it is going to handle both cargo and passengers. So we think that on the expansion plan, the airport, we are very, very impressed on the works. The airport is almost completed. What's remaining is the control tower, and then the airport starts handling cargo and also passengers as time goes on. Omulimo oguli kugenda niyo twagusima munonga okwa
So, Deputy Governor Professor Augustus Nwaga was speaking to the media, and he does confirm he is impressed with the work so far, and he feels it's good news for the country, Uganda. Like I did tell you, you can see some of those lights in there, the blue and yellow in Qatar's. At night, it is extremely beautiful. You see lights in here in different colors, changing colors. And people will tell you that they've taken pictures here at night. They'll tell you those are best moments that they've had in their lives. And I believe you definitely have to get chance and come through to be able to catch up some of those moments, especially if you can work with PAO, UNOC, and SBC, who are the teams or institutions mandated to take charge of the airport. I do not know the protocols for one to come through here and do some of these pictures, but I believe for promoting a country, buy Uganda, build Uganda, the president, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, has been so intentional, and to that, I believe that should be allowed, especially for people that will come with good intentions. I want to be clear. I've seen some people making reckless statements about certain government projects. Fine, we might want to fault our government where they've not done right, because we believe it is very important for accountability, but also we need to be mindful about the image we actually portray to the world, because remember, some of these comments, some of these videos we film and share on social media go viral, and once a video goes, it will be hard for you to retract that. You've seen videos that have been brought and are filmed maybe like 5 years or 10 years, and they have ripple effects on the economy of the country, Uganda. If you share a video and you say that maybe something is bad, you do not have time to come and say now it is good. So if you do not have that time to come and retract, but also remember, bad news moves so fast than good news. So it makes sense to be intentional and careful about videos we share out there. If it is a project that is going to help us all, let's promote it. And if it is going to criticize, let's have positive criticism, and it happens internally, not you going in social media, bashing, lashing out. That makes sense to you who wants viewership and likes and maybe comments and all that, but it has effects on the country. So we should be able to be intentional, especially matters to do with oil and gas, no matter how that can be. Different countries have projects happening. It's not that they do not have some of these stories. They have them, but they control them. They make sure that if something has happened, because look, you have a family and mistakes do happen in your family, then who are you not to make mistakes when you're having such kind of a project? Of course, you expect mistakes to be done, but of course the team is here to ensure that most of those mistakes rectified and in time, and comments, but also statements are issued out and in time. So let's be mindful about what we share about our country, about the sector. If it has to be to do with environment, if it has to do with oil and gas, if it has to do with anything, we need to be extremely careful as a country, as citizens of the country. It's an amazing moment. It has been just a walk in here, looking at how the airport is. If you get here, you may not actually, especially for people that have not gone to the airports, they will tell you, oni akoze oluguudo si luguudo kisaawe kya nnyonyi. So kisaawe kya nnyonyi, but for people that have not been to airports, they will tell you just kino, but it is an airport. It is an airport for that matter. So good moments. It's a good view in here. Looking at sunset. So let's promote Uganda. Buy Uganda, build Uganda. Let's be intentional, especially for oil and gas sector. We have Tilenga oil fields happening in Bulisa. You have Kingfisher happening in Chikuve, Buhuka, to be specific. You have Kabalega International Airport. You have Kabalega Industrial Park. You have Pump Station 1. All these projects are here to develop the region, but also to develop our country, Uganda. Remember, the president did say that why they wanted to have a refinery in here. They wanted to ensure that we are exporting processed fuel. So it is important. It didn't make sense to him that you have to take your raw materials out there and then you're given less money. Instead, when you can actually have your own refinery and then you have more money is fetched for the country, and that means growth. It's been particular that Uganda doesn't fund its budget 100%, but they believe that if the sector actually gets moving, the country will be able to fund its budget at about some percentage. I am yet to ascertain how far that is going, especially in terms of the entire percentage. So, so let everyone be intentional. I am intentional in promoting my country, Uganda. I am intentional on promoting different projects. I am intentional on making sure that Uganda moves steadily to another level, because Uganda is my country, Uganda is my home. Why not? You too must do that, because you have nothing else that you call your country. It has to be Uganda. I know some people will go and acquire dual citizenship, but of course, definitely at the bottom of your heart, you know that your homeland is Uganda. Your homeland is Uganda. You can fly, go to Canada, go to UK, go to USA, but the bottom line, your country will always be your country, and you never forget that. And people in your village will never forget you, because they actually know your origin. And you only try to use some funny English. You want to prove that you went to school, you shifted, and all that stuff. It doesn't take away the fact that you are Ugandan. So let's be extremely intentional in as far as promoting our country, Uganda, is concerned. Okay, why not let you be? I've been giving a feel of Kabalega International Airport, the drive-through and all that, and I believe I have to let you be. I hope you enjoy. Hope you enjoy wherever you be visiting. And up there, where you're seeing, that's where the main route is going to be for in and out of the airport, but also that's where the takeoff for the airplanes will be happening, because takeoff cannot be this way because there's a lake, but also short left lake is Lake Albert. So you do not want to fly and then you're taking off in a different country. That would be extremely very chaotic for a country like Uganda. But you need to use this route. You can go to Kianjojo 40, then fly up, and then you are safe within your territory or your country. So that's it, and the team moves out there. The team, it's been a long journey, it's been a long day, but our intention in promoting our country, Uganda, buy Uganda, build Uganda, should be a motto of everyone. You never have some other country to call home. It has to be Uganda. You can choose to say that you can assimilate, you can choose to go and have dual citizenship, but you never turn to be a person that has born in that country, but your origin always remain Uganda. Bigula tugende nkuleka ndaba Flavia is Bigula link. So that confirms she's been at the airport. I can see George, I can see Kasumba. Kasumba, he likes money. So when you look at him, he's giving you he has even given me money, 2,000. He's a good man, he's an investor anyway. Thank you, Kasumba. We are promoting our country, so he's also promoting me. That one, Okello, he says he's a president of Hirigi. He's a municipality, I think. It is a municipality. So that's good news. Bye-bye for now. See you then.